What up, y'all? Welcome to the Gunslinger Gaming Frosty Pints podcast. I'm Gobi. With me tonight is DrNiggle, Masami, OmegaConstruct, and Zero Burn 75. So sit back, enjoy the ride. It's going to be a short one. How y'all doing?
Good.
Thrilled to be alive.
So last weekend was actually a good one for me. Even though I worked 2 out of the 3 days we were supposed to have off. But on Saturday, I did manage to drive to Green Bay and pick up a new motorcycle, so I'm pretty stoked about that.
PP big now.
No, I finally got I owned one 10 years ago, and
heard it here, everybody. Gobi's PP.
I missed it. Hey, it's average, man. I don't need a big PP to get the job done. I don't need to compensate.
Alright, so we got this half-hour podcast. CD Projekt Red, Ubisoft European company's value worth. Apparently CD Projekt Red is worth a whole bunch of money. That's cool. One company is using Red Dead Redemption 2 instead of Zoom. That sounds like a great idea. Parent group is demanding Microsoft. Minecraft takes action against child predators in Minecraft. Nobody wants pedos on their Minecraft server. I completely sympathize with them. Go parents. CEO distances Twitch from First Steph and clarification statement. Everything that we said last week was true. She also encouraged looting in Minnesota, which is great. For DrNiggle, classic Anno games are being updated and re-released, which is fantastic. Anno 1404, everybody should play that. Bungie says Destiny 2 Season 11 and Year 4 events are coming very soon. Yeah, I'll believe that when it happens. Kate Blanchett confirms Borderlands movie, which means my prediction last week can basically eat shit. Fortnite delays start of new season again. SEC filed Take-Two massive title being dropped in June 2024. Take-Two explicitly says that it's not GTA 6. 25 years later, Tax Manager creator shares a bunch of cool tips. Spoilers, they're not really cool tips, and you've probably been doing them all along anyway. Motherboard manufacturers have figured out how to sidestep Intel's overclocking clock. It's the coolest article on here. That's the podcast, everybody. All right, Gobi, take us out.
Yeah, I said 30 minutes, not 30 seconds, but that was a good recap.
Holy damn!
In case you wanted to
Warframe.
recap before you hear the whole thing, there's what you got to look forward to, folks.
Here we go. Warframe. That's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Best podcast we ever did.
Did we just do that just to get to Warframe?
The CG Project Red, I found interesting because, as if you don't know, we're not sponsored by them, but they also own GOG, which we all know is amazing. And we were actually just talking about before the podcast. They just released Metro Exodus on GOG and a couple other really cool games too. But they're finally worth more money than Ubisoft in Europe. This is only in Europe. But that's pretty cool, considering Ubisoft has how many AAA games, and CG Projekt Red has the Witcher games and Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, if my dog takes a shit and I sell it for $60, is it a AAA dog shit?
I don't know. See, well, that's the other thing. Like they're claiming they're bigger than Ubisoft, but are they just claiming like Ubisoft, like that are only based in Europe? Because if that's the case, they only make like Watch Dogs or something. Because like the Division is made out of the Montreal studio.
Get it right. It's Watch_Dogs. Okay.
Do you actually pronounce
sure.
the underscore?
I don't. Yeah.
Sure.
Why not? We all know.
All right, I'll do it.
Fuck it.
Fuck
Why
it.
not?
We're doing it live.
Yeah, Activision Blizzard remains at the top of the stock market with 56.27 billion. Nintendo is close behind with 53.7 million, and EA sits at 34.34 billion, while Take-Two is currently at 16.3 billion. That's a big fucking jump.
64 point whatever billions, not that much. We have more listeners than that.
No, I was talking to the 34 billion to the 16 billion. Like, that's a massive fucking jump from, what is it, third to fourth? No.
I mean, it's a bigger jump from second to third.
Mm-hmm.
53 to 34.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. I mean they're all worth way more money than they need to be, but we won't go into that.
Well, but it's also worth noting that the top three are companies that deal in a massive stable of games, and like Take-Two also has a big stable, but not on the level of Nintendo or EA. So like it makes sense that the giants are dominating the way that they are.
Yeah, it should be that CG product capital has risen to 8.13 billion in Europe, and Ubisoft is at 8.12 billion. So they barely took them, but still.
See, the problem with an article like this is that it makes this ranking, and we see what the top three are and how huge they are, and then it's like, oh yeah, look at Ubisoft and this; they're only 8 billion. But like, what are the 20 names on the list after Ubisoft? Like, where's the rest of the context? Because $8 billion in the video gaming space, that could be pretty fucking huge. You
Right.
know? So it's there's just a little, like, all we can really take from this is the interesting factoid that that CD Projekt Red is now worth more than Ubi. Doesn't really say anything more than that about like what it means for either company, I think.
No, it's just something neat. You know, here's a small little Polish studio that basically really only has 2 games. I mean, or game series. The Witcher has 3 games and a board game, and then Cyberpunk hasn't even released yet.
Technically, The Witcher has an RPG, and there's also an RPG coming out for Cyberpunk. Whatever the numbers are, I forget.
2077.
Well. Yeah, the Witcher one is already out. I mean, but granted, you know, RPGs aren't exactly a moneymaker unless you're wizards. But, you know, they still have slightly more in diversity in the Witcher product line. But yeah, I mean, they still only have like the one thing.
Yeah. But they're pretty good games, so.
Yeah.
Because we mentioned it earlier in this, I would take the reins on this segue here, where Take-Two. So Take-Two has filed some papers with the SEC that says that in 2024, they are going to have a huge increase in their marketing budget. And a business analyst on Twitter basically kind of was like, hey, this means GTA 6. And then he pointed to the fact that before Red Dead Redemption 2, the same thing was noticed by in a SEC filing by Take-Two, and people correctly predicted Red Dead 2. But Take-Two has come out and explicitly said this is not hinting at GTA 6. I'm calling bullshit.
They don't need a GTA 6. GTA 5 is making them plenty of money right now. Also, why did someone make a fan mod for The Witcher 3 that gives Geralt a dad bod? It basically
Because
mods
what else
Geralt.
do people have to do with their lives?
It makes Geralt look like he's a 40-year-old dad who's pretty much given up.
Somebody made a Resident Evil 3 mod that replaces Nemesis with Shrek.
That just makes sense. But this is like, what are they like? I think they're daring Henry Cavill to put on like 50 pounds, which he would probably do because he's that kind of actor.
I was just reading something about how might do Superman again.
No, I thought he was done with that. I thought he was like explicitly done with DC.
No, I think I saw that he agreed to come back for something.
Oh, great. They just dump a dump truck full of money on his front lawn.
I don't know. I just saw it today.
Justice League reshoots, I believe.
Oh, a new Justice League? I could deal with that.
No, they're reshooting it. It's going to be the Snyder Cut, is how they're billing it.
I'm sorry, I was just imagining them trying to make Justice League better, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Best of
basically,
luck.
since the one guy took over for Snyder after his daughter, I believe, died, or it was something very close to him. Basically, he's coming back to the movie and recutting it his way and calling for reshoots. And yeah, Cavill agreed to come back for his reshoots and everything. So
That's great. His third round of reshoots, essentially, is he going to have a mustache that they digitally removed this time?
yeah, I remember that.
That wasn't for Justice League.
Oh,
That was
God.
for one of the stupid Superman movies, wasn't it? Was it
I'm
Superman
sorry,
versus Batman?
you're going to have to be more specific.
I know there's 3 of them, but I only remember Superman versus Batman and Justice League. I don't remember the first one. What was that one?
Dawn of Superman or some shit. The only thing I remember from those movies is that Lex Luthor was absolutely right.
Oh no, Jesse Eisenberg made the worst Lex Luthor ever.
Oh, no, fuck Jesse Eisenberg. I could care less about that individual. I'm just saying that the character of Lex Luthor, his motivations were completely understandable, and I agree with him.
Yeah.
There needs to be some sort of safeguard against this god who we have just placed in humanity's hands, or placed humanity in his hands. Whatever. How I'm bad at grammar. I'm also very tired. Okay, so what was this about the SEC and 90-something new game properties?
What? I don't know. I think which one you going on? We're on.
Yeah, I think we moved past
two.
that.
It was just a glorious tangent that we went on.
Yeah.
Right.
We
That's why you summarized
Zero can
everything
talk
at
about
first,
that.
but-
The the Twitch shit, and get that out of the way. Yep. Zero. It's all you.
Wait,
Huh? What?
What?
So last podcast we were talking about Ferocious Steph and how she was just awful, and Twitch added her to their advisory council, and you said that she was giving Twitch a bad name. I think we all agreed with that, and then there was a little back and forth about how much power the advisory council has, and the group landed on the fact that they don't have any power, and the CEO of Twitch has since come out and basically said, yeah, they don't have any power. They are not involved in decision making. They're not in charge of moderating policy. They are an advisory council. We value their opinions, and their opinions may not be ours or even each other's. So he drew a great big line between Twitch and Ferocious Steph, and she has continued being very outspoken since that time, including encouraging crime. Which is just fantastic. Not the protesting, just the looting. Looting is a crime.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So I'm not gonna say that, I knew that Twitch would eventually back off of that, but Twitch was eventually going to back off.
it's okay. We'll let you say it. You can say it. I told you so. It's super easy. Go for it.
No, he doesn't get to say that.
No. I don't
This
get to
is-
say, no. I don't get to say I told you so, but
Omega gets to say told you so.
He told me so.
Yeah.
Because Omega did tell me so. So
Yeah, you were kind of freaking out.
Omega was the one who said that, yeah, they're an advisory council, they don't have any power. Also, I've been meaning to talk to you guys. We need to do an Eat Shit episode. Where we just go back and we listen to our former podcasts and we talk about everything that we predicted wrong.
Ooh,
Do you have
it's
those
actually a good idea.
segments?
oh
Because that
god,
could
yeah.
take a while.
I mean, I got a handful of them.
That
I'll
should,
make-
that
I'll
should
make a
be
list.
kind of for-
So, speaking of going back, what are these classic Anno games?
say it one more time for me, please.
Those classic games, what are they?
No, the A word.
Hey, Edward Aardvark?
Oh god, yeah, Anno. Anno, which is Anno Domine, Year of Our Lord, is where that comes from. Anno has been a series that has been put out by Ubisoft for quite a while, and Anno 1404 I played the shit out of, including the Gold Edition, where you got... It doesn't matter. Anno 1404 is an absolutely wonderful city building, resource management, micromanagement, everything game. It's fucking fantastic, and I would still play it to this game, except for it was designed for x86 systems, and it is way too big a game for x86. It needs to be x64 because it needs way, way, way more than 2 gigs of RAM. And people have been trying to patch that and find workaround for it for a very long time, including myself. I was actually part of a group a while ago that was trying to figure out how to increase the amount of memory that the game could use, and it just wasn't possible. So now Ubisoft says that it's going back to redo several Anno games. 4 of the classic games, specifically 1602, 1503, 1701, and 1404, are all being touched up with the new History Edition, and they have been optimized for modern systems. The article does talk about each game being updated to a 64-bit version to improve performance and stability. Quote, "This news may not be blowing your socks off, but Anno 1404 in particular had a pretty irritating memory bug." So they addressed it specifically in this article. I am hopeful that I'll be able to play that game again without it crashing after a half an hour.
Sweet.
And that's really just because the game is fucking beautiful. It was way ahead of its time. Its graphics settings are gorgeous, and you can build an enormous empire. The problem is the game cannot support what you're able to do in the game in the first place, and Ubisoft has been ignoring it for a long time. But apparently they're re-releasing this stuff. So the new History Edition will come out. It will include all 4 games, and they'll all be remastered to work on x84-based systems. And yeah, if you've never played 1404, these other versions are fine. 1602, 1503, and 1701 are fine, but 1404 is the gem of the bunch. So if you like city builders and resource management, yeah, it's great. It's a great game.
I love losing days at a time.
Oh my god, yeah, I did. I lost a lot of time playing 1404. A couple summers, actually.
So speaking of that type of game, a new one just came out on GOG called Northgard. I think it came out somewhere else too. Have you seen that, Niggle?
I have. It was recommended to me. It's like Warcraft with Vikings, which is not a bad thing. But it's billed as a city builder, and it isn't. It's more like Warcraft. It's a strategic god view, strategy game.
So gotcha. So it's not an actual city builder, which is what it looked like. That's kind of good to clarification.
You can definitely build bases and build cities, but your primary focus is not going to be the city building. It's not terribly detailed or complicated. The main thing is going to be heroes going out looking for shit, fighting units that come after you, looking for special MacGuffins and all the rest of that stuff. It's not a bad game.
Let's see. Oh, this next one must be Zeros too. Bungie says Destiny 2 Season 11 and Year 4 reveals are coming very soon.
No, that was actually me, but I was going to ask Zero if or like what in the past has Bungie done for those. Do they do like yearly things, or like what kind of stuff happens in the seasons?
Zero, you're queuing up, but we don't hear you.
Oh, we lost him. He died.
No.
Rest in peace.
No, you didn't lose me. Oh, fucking mic muted. Yes, I know you wished for that Gobi, but you can kiss the fattest part of my lily white ass.
Delicious.
So,
I would, but I'm good.
You won't miss.
I'm really good.
Yeah, no, you won't miss. In fact, I'll mark an acre for you. So pretty much what it boils down to is they took the Fortnite idea and they've gone with you have levels that you have to acquire. It's 1 through 100. Instead of getting XP that goes towards your character's level, it's XP that goes towards your season ranking. You go, and it just keeps going up and up and up until you get to 100. And then anything past 100 is just fucking gravy. And it's essentially a huge time sink and grind. And they copy and paste shit. I mean, it is pretty much just they copy and paste every season. It is insane.
Yeah, different rewards or whatever, just reskinned rewards.
Not even so much reskinned rewards. That's not the issue. The issue is they copy and paste. Like in this past season, and I didn't even play, and I can tell you exactly what it's about because it's the exact same thing that they did 2 seasons ago. They just made it Rasputin related and not like related to the Vanguard. It makes zero sense. When they did Menagerie, they did that. It was good for a while, and then people got bored with it. So what did they do? In the season before last, they did a time walking event, essentially, that was just Menagerie, only you were going through different time areas within the Destiny time frame, and you were fighting Cabal instead of on the different enemies on the Leviathan. I mean, it was essentially the same thing reskinned in a different zone.
Gotcha.
That's part of the reason why I don't play their games anymore.
Yeah, I know. I think Division actually pushed the end of their season back a week or something. It says Destiny 2 season's coming very soon. Fortnite delays the start of a new season again. Go figure. Yep. Why did they delay this time? I've been lazy. I haven't read the article yet. Slacking.
I thought we were all supposed to read the articles before the podcast.
We are, but my daughter's birthday, and I've been slacking, so I'm reading now. So speak, Masami, since you want to be a smartass.
Who taught Gobi how to read?
Hello.
Sorry, we enjoy giving Gobi shit.
They haven't specified the reason.
Yeah.
I was about to say,
But it could be an unexpected development due setbacks due to COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, just come out and say it's because of Corona.
They
It's all right.
actually say that
Y'all get
in
it.
the last paragraph. Unsurprisingly, the COVID-19 pandemic means that the big reveal won't take place at a convention or during the elaborate studio show, but will instead take place online. Details weren't revealed, but Bungie said its updates will be shared via its Twitter account. So yeah, I hope everybody's subscribed to the Bungie Twitter account. I know I'm not.
So, in non-gaming related news, found out that my cousin and his wife are having a baby. They're about 12 weeks along, and I have suggested the names Quarantina and Ron.
Oh, that's sweet.
I was immediately shot down.
Well, there's no accounting for taste, Zero. Your humor is above them.
How high were you flying if you were shot down? I mean, did you fall very hard?
Kick her the fuck
And
out.
how good was the
Kick
weed?
her out. Kick her out. Now, it may be her birthday, but kick her out.
Wait, no, it
Yes,
can't.
Zero brought it
What?
up. No, it's Masami's birthday.
My
Happy
birthday.
birthday, Masami. I hope you're enjoying your snickerdoodles.
Thank you.
Oh, really?
They're quite delicious. Yeah, it's legitimately my birthday.
That's actually funny. Happy birthday. It's also my daughter's birthday today, and
Oh, hey, she was born on a great day, then. It's a great day.
I know. Yes. This is the
Awesome.
first time I've ever had her the entire time on her birthday, and it's probably the
Nice.
last time before she turns 18 that I'll have her for the whole day on her birthday. Thanks, Corona.
Is the plural of Taurus Tauri?
Technically, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, actually,
your
you know, I
daughter,
can see-
your daughter and Masami are Tauri.
No, we're Gemini. We're right just past the start of Gemini.
I don't know anything about astrology.
Okay, so
Clearly.
that actually explains a lot, Masami. I'm not even.
Oh
gonna-
yeah. Oh, Kozen's a Gemini too. He's just born in the later half of it.
And
So-
before we get lost in the stars,
Kosen is your twin?
No, there's just 4 heads around at all times because we've got 2 minds about everything.
Oh, okay, all right. I was trying to think. Incest is only legal in
all
some
right,
southern
before
states.
before this goes way too far into the gutter, so
Polygamy is legal in South Dakota.
Is it?
Amazing.
Right, if it isn't, it should be.
I mean, they're close to Utah, right? I mean, they're almost touching. There's only a couple states between them.
You know, pretty soon people are going to start asking
what
if
are
we
they-
have an OnlyFans account.
What are they? Wait, what are they? You know what? That's where we can start putting this. We can monetize the streams and put them on OnlyFans. Yes,
I made an
great
account
idea,
there.
Masami.
I have an account there. I can upload if you like.
Aw. What do you do? Have pictures of Dad Thor there?
No, nothing
You
so
really
far.
want the answer to that question?
Nothing so far. I'm still looking. I'm open for ideas. If anybody wants to comment in the whatever below, yeah, I'm looking for ideas of stuff to put on my OnlyFans account.
Well,
Oh, that could
I mean-
get yeah.
there are many suggestions I could make, but none I should do on air. So
Yeah, no, we got but between Gobi bringing up Utah and the OnlyFans account, we got a lot to talk about in the post show.
it's the infamous show, which you never hear, but you can only imagine.
I can only assume that Omega is playing Warframe and Necrosing, just tapping that melee button.
Sounds like somebody's jerking off over there in the corner.
That's
Well,
not how
fair.
you do it.
I was about to say, I'm a girl, and even I know that.
Sarcasm, guys. All lost on you, all of the time. So
But
So
was
people
it
have finally
really
figured-
sarcasm, Gobi? Was it really sarcasm? I didn't hear the sarcastic tone.
I'm sorry, I couldn't put it in italics for you.
He was if you listened very closely, you could hear the air quotes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I speak in sarcasm pretty much at any point in time, but you know.
Oh, fluently. You speak not only fluent sarcasm, but you speak quite well in dad joke as well.
Speaking
What
of
can
dad
I say?
jokes,
I'm multilingual.
yeah. Speaking of dad jokes, Kate Blanchett has actually been confirmed to be in the Borderlands movie. I said that it was a rumor and unlikely, but it turns out that it is very likely. Eli Roth's Borderlands movie will feature Kate Blanchett as I don't know who this character is.
And
So
if
yeah,
you-
it's looking like so she's gonna play Lilith, who anybody who's played the original Borderlands
Oh yeah.
is so your character in the game is you help Lilith do stuff on the planet and whatever. That's the whole game. She is this. She's called a siren, which means she has
Mhm.
magical powers, psychic powers, I guess. And
Yeah.
she contacts you, and you help her prevent bad people from doing bad things. No spoilers. And it's looking like, I mean, if Kate Blanchett is the star. Like, she's probably going to be the star. So it's not going to be about some sort of stand-in for the character that the gamers have played. To me, it's looking like they're going to be telling the story of Lilith's of her past, of leading up to Borderlands, and so it's looking like she's going to be the starring role. To me, at least. I mean, I've seen fan discussions. Obviously, nothing about the plot has been officially released, but that's my theory, at least right now.
That'd be still a cool flick. Like, I haven't played it, but I've watched it played from a few different folks, so that'd still be a pretty cool movie, I think.
Yeah.
Why in this article did they introduce Cate Blanchett as, alright, Hela in Thor Ragnarok? I understand that. That was a popular movie, but also Mrs. Zimmerman in The House with a Clock in Its Walls, which also starred Jack
Why
Black.
not go after Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, she's been in some very she played Bob Dylan, for fuck's sake. She's played a man before.
She was in The House with a Clock on the Walls?
Yeah, she was the crazy lady who had sworn off magic that lived with Jack Black, and he was the reckless one, and she was the responsible one until the end when it, spoilers, she proved to be a badass.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, Lord of the Rings. She's been in fucking Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies. Maybe just stick to Lord of the Rings, I guess.
Yeah. We don't want to endorse bad movies.
Mm.
The Hobbit movies, which Peter Jackson only made because of peer pressure.
Movies which should never have been a trilogy.
No,
TM.
Who's the director that was supposed to make the Hobbit movies in the first place? And
Fuck, I don't know.
You mean it should have been a movie?
I
Yeah,
want to say that
a
it was
movie.
Guillermo del Toro who was supposed to do the Hobbit movie. It was supposed to be one movie, and then New Line Cinema went to him and was like, actually, can we drag this out into 2 movies? And he was like, maybe. And they were like, actually, we want to make it a trilogy just like The Lord of the Rings. He was like, fuck this, I'm out. And they brought Peter Jackson back.
So yeah, I do want to make one correction to what I said a moment ago, though. So in Borderlands 1, Lilith was one of the playable character options.
Yeah.
In Borderlands 2, she was the NPC that sort of led the story. So, correction on my mistake there. So, very well could be a movie about the Borderlands 1 storyline. I don't know. I'm kind of digging all these movies and TV shows and stuff that are being made out of video game IPs.
As long as they aren't as terrible as I heard Sonic was. No, have not actually seen that movie.
There are bound to be some duds, but
I actually heard from a couple of my friends who went to the Sonic movie before movie theaters got shut down, and they said it actually was not awful since they did all of the retouching animation stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, that's also what I heard, is that it started off very poorly because of how they had designed the 3D, or the model for Sonic, and then they altered it, and it turned out better. I guess it would pretty much have to, but
the fan backlash when they released that first trailer was unreal.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
I almost have to think that they did that shit on purpose.
No, they definitely did not.
Because
Take a look at the Twitter responses. They definitely did not.
That was a serious miscalculation on their part.
I'm guessing that
Yeah.
some higher up exec somewhere thought it looked great, quote TM, and then they released it, and that exec had to eat his words or her words or its words or whatever.
Okay, so pretty much the way I'm looking at this from this point is the person who made that suggestion was probably also the person who thought Super Mario Bros. Was a good idea.
True. I will admit, though, as a 12-year-old, I actually enjoyed that movie. But, I didn't really know any better because I was 12.
I was going to say, don't go back and watch it now and ruin it for yourself.
No, I'm like, okay. Like, that's like one of the first PG-13 movies I got taken to, and was by my grandma. So that's kind of that's also why I don't think too poorly of that movie, because my grandma actually took 12-year-old me to a PG-13 movie. I think it was
Nice.
PG-13 anyway.
I don't
without
care
a
enough
doubt.
to-
Without a doubt, the greatest movie ever made out of a video game IP would be Super Mario Brothers.
Oh God, my eye just twitched.
Is this
Actually,
where we bring up Tomb Raiders?
Wait, clarification point, please. Which Tomb Raiders?
I don't know. Was there more than just the Angelina Jolie take?
Yes, there was.
Yes.
You see, that's how much I don't know about it.
So have you watched the Bourne movies?
Oh, like the first one. That's it.
Oh,
That's
Okay.
fine. That's probably the best one.
yeah.
That
Well,
was
it's irrelevant because she's only in the last one. But they took like his handler from the
Oh, yeah.
last Bourne movie. And she's the new Tomb Raider.
Mm.
It's not that she.
Gobi is trying to say that Alicia Vikander is the Tomb Raider in the 2018. I think it was 2018 or 2017. It was probably 2018.
Something like that. Yeah, they tried to do the whole reboot thing, and I don't know. It's not a horrible movie, but it's not like one I go back and watch. I'd rather go back and watch the
Go-
Angelina Jolie
Gobi.
ones.
Gobi. It was a terrible
What?
movie.
It was a pretty bad movie. So here's the thing: the 2018 version of Tomb Raider was somehow worse than the Angelina Jolie versions of the Tomb Raiders because Alicia Vikander, I think that's her name. I don't know her first name. Her last name is definitely Vikander. Is somewhat cold and distant just as an actor, and probably the best thing that she ever did was play a robot in a movie called Ex Machina, which was actually really great, and she was outstanding in that role. Outside of that, not great.
You know that now that you say that kind of hits the nail on the head. Like that's what was wrong with the whole movie. She just wasn't personable.
So the other thing that I would say about the Angelina Jolie Tomb Raiders versus the Super Mario Brothers had John Leguizamo. Tomb Raider had Angelina Jolie. I'm probably gonna watch Tomb Raider, even though those movies are fucking over the top bad. They're not really fun. They're kind of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, so-
they're definitely fun and stupid all at the same time.
They're fun and stupid, and they were made right about the time that The Matrix came out, like a year after The Matrix came out. So we were still riding that glorious end of the '90s action movie, everything on wires and outstanding, technical fight scenes and all the rest of that crap. So it's good. It's just funny.
Yeah, of course, Daniel Craig's in the first one, and
Oh my God,
Gerard
you're right.
Butler?
You're right, Daniel
Yeah.
Craig. Fucking James Bond was the
other Tomb Raider.
Yeah, the competing Tomb Raider in the first Tomb Raider movie. I've completely
Oh.
spaced on that.
Yeah, there's a whole like the shower scene in Venice, and then at the end, he's like her love interest, or they've had previous interactions.
Daniel
and then
Craig
the
has
second one-
never. I don't think Daniel Craig's ever been full nude on the screen, but yeah, in Tomb Raider, he's definitely walking around a room with Angelina Jolie just wearing a sock.
No one's gonna complain about that.
No, nor should they.
No.
Yeah, and then the second one, it's I think I'm saying his name right, Gerard Butler. That
Yep.
Gerard.
Is that right?
It's a hard G. Gerard.
Gerard. Yeah, he's the second one though, right?
Yeah, okay. King Leonidas from 300. Yeah, Gerard Butler.
He actually goes by Gary and not Jerry. Fun fact.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that on like Tonight Show or one of those. He did an interview on one of those night shows.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not. Everything I know about how to pronounce his name and what he likes to be called is based off the Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson.
It's a great, great journalistic source.
Oh yes,
He
the
was
best.
he was a fantastic interviewer.
I like actually listening to him. I love his fucking accent. My God, I could listen to that for days.
I admire the way that he completely disassembled and broke down the late night talk show format. Like, of course, it's very late. Like Jackson Pollock broke down painting.
Pretend we know who that is.
Oh my God, you don't know who Jackson Pollock is?
He's the most famous alcoholic of the early 20th century.
Yes, because when I learn about history, like I go for famous drunk people.
The man literally put.
Have you studied the Civil War?
No, I mean, yeah, Jackson Pollock put the period on painting. He finished the art, and everyone's just been trying to figure out what the fuck to do since him.
I will have to Google this.
Have fun with that.
By the way, if you want to watch a great series on the History Channel, the series Grant that they just did was absolutely fucking amazing.
Was it based on Ulysses Grant, or what Grant are we talking about here?
Ulysses Grant, yeah, it was
Okay.
it was his battle strategies and shit like that.
Yeah.
It was
Thomas
great.
Grant, the guy who's in charge of the Toyota dealership down the street. Brilliant man.
Excellent military strategist.
I mean, Zero, you just kind of left it wide open. You should have expected something like that.
You should see that motherfucker play paintball.
Who knows? Maybe he paints too. Maybe he just watches Bob Ross at night. And just paints happy little things.
Alright, you know what? I said Jackson Pollock put a period on painting, but Bob Ross is a fucking national treasure.
He
That's
is.
true.
I grew up watching him on PBS. He's like the only reason I know anything about painting, and that's not a lot.
That man is real. Did you know? Okay, once he had a viewer write in and tell him that the viewer really wanted to paint, but he was colorblind, and so he couldn't really follow all that well with what Bob was doing. And the next show that Bob did, he did a grayscale painting, so this dude could paint along with him.
Aww.
That's what kind of an awesome individual Bob Ross is. Was. He's probably dead. I don't know.
The
I don't
more
remember-
you know.
Yes, I love that. I love that thing. I use it as a GIF or GIF or however the fuck you want to pronounce it all the time.
It's a GIF.
But whatever, it's a thing. But like the only Bob Ross fact that I know of is that he did like 2 or 3 different copies. Like he'd do the painting once before the show, and then he'd do another one on the show while referencing the other one in the off screen. And I believe, didn't he either give them away or auction them off for charity or something? I can't remember exactly what he did with them, but he did something great with them, and it was a treasure of a human being for it.
I'm just going to go ahead and say this. Bob Ross is a god.
Alright, Zero, you need to
Don't
take
act.
pictures of your shrine to Bob Ross and put him
Yes.
in the saloon. I will like, comment, and subscribe.
The only thing I'm missing from that is a lock of his hair, and sadly he.
You know what you should do? Start each of your new streams. Start and end your streams with a small dedication to thanking Bob Ross.
Maybe we should start up a fund so that we can get you a fro wig, and you can just wear it in honor of Bob Ross at all times.
Okay, so fun story about streaming. Based off of the recommendation of my doctor, I'm not allowed to do that anymore.
Oh man, but you can still wear the fro just around the house for fun.
You damn right, and I would wear it.
You were getting chest pains from streaming?
Because I could not separate the amount of work that it was taking me to do the stream from my actual.
Stress.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Stress pants. Yeah.
We were doing a podcast, right?
Yeah, we are. We should be. Actually, why don't we wrap this shit up?
Wait, no, we're only at we're only at like the 40-minute mark. We need to keep going.
Oh, shut up, Zara.
We finished all the topics in a half an hour without even trying. I didn't say a word.
Masami needs for us to go at least an hour. Okay.
The only thing we didn't cover is the Intel, which I tried, but you guys completely missed it.
No, yeah, we did. We were too
You
busy
remember
talking.
that like a Mac truck.
Anyway, who are the board manufacturers? AS Rock is one of them. And
I think that Asus and AS Rock.
Asus and AS Rock. Yes, Asus is taking a page from AS Rock with a new feature that alters the CPU's power level 1, or the PL1 setting. Basically, these two manufacturers have figured out in their 400 series boards how to trick an Intel processor into thinking that it should be running at a higher clock speed by increasing the wattage and altering the CPU's PL1 setting. Which basically means that if you want to overclock an Intel processor anymore, you don't need a K series processor. That used to be the thing. A K means fine, you can overclock it, otherwise they were locked.
Yeah.
Now you can just buy any Intel processor that you want, and if you use one of these boards, and presumably future boards, you can overclock whatever the hell you want. So you're no longer paying extra money for a processor that was specifically designated to be overclocked.
What's Intel said about that? I would think they would be not thrilled with, having their marketing strategy just shot up from underneath them.
Yeah, does anybody else remember that episode of Futurama where Hubert Farnsworth's clone son gets in trouble for overclocking Bender?
Yeah.
That's basically what's happening here.
Yeah.
I don't think Intel can be pleased about that, because I mean, at that point,
Yeah.
that or they're just gonna have to deprecate out the K line and just go, hey, it's actually a feature. You can do this with all of our things, and then just up their price overall.
Well, it makes me wonder if it is as reliable or safe for your hardware as the typical way of doing it, because this is like manipulating a specific power level. My reading of it is like manipulating the PL, like power level 1, which is a specific thing. So it's not the typical way of overclocking. So I just wonder, is it the type of thing that could be less stable? Or
cause your processor harm if you were to do it that way.
Right,
I mean, they could always go with that.
I mean, if that were a chance, I doubt they would have ever released the technology.
Yeah.
I don't know whether or not there is any difference in the architecture of a standard series Intel processor and a K series Intel processor of the same model. I don't, other than that one is locked for its power frequency and the other one is not, and you can overclock the other one. If there's a difference in the architecture, then yeah, that could be a problem, but I don't know that for a fact. So the only thing that I can say for sure is that the K series have a warranty on them. So if you fuck around with overclocking and something doesn't work, there is a possibility that you might actually be able to get a replacement. That's at least how mine was. The warranty on that is run out years ago. No such warranty on a processor that's not supposed to be overclocked. So if you burn it out, you lost it.
That is a good point.
Which, I mean, technically could make them more money if you're buying replacements and you don't care, but it could also make people angry that, they just burned up their processor and they had no real forewarning for it.
I mean, if you're building your own PC and you're installing your own processor, hopefully you're a responsible enough adult that you know what you're doing with overclocking. But yeah, that's definitely a possibility.
Hopefully.
Stupid comes in all shapes and sizes.
Oh, it does. It walks and talks and breathes.
Well,
Good news is you can silence it with duct tape.
This is true.
Silence is golden. Duct tape is silver. Zero.
the interesting thing about all this Intel stuff is AMD, any AMD Zen processor you can overclock. Like there's no special ones. Like back in the day, the FX ones had the FX Black, which were for overclocking. But with Zen, you can overclock any of them. But maybe Intel will just finally adapt the same strategy and get rid of the K series, but not jack up the price. We get hope. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We get
I
hope.
hope. I do. I hope that's the
Yeah.
case too, and I hope that Intel continues to feel the pressure from AMD.
Yeah. Well, I just had to check because I don't have a Zen myself. I have an FX Black, so I can overclock my 5950, which is ancient at this point. But yeah, apparently the new Zen, they have like AMD has a utility for it, so it works right there.
But yeah. All right. Furious typing. That Gobi made me think of. There's a build. I saw pictures of it the other day. Somebody actually, to solve an overheating issue, they had no fans or moving parts inside of their case. They completely sealed it off, and they filled it with, I believe, isopropyl alcohol or some inert alcohol, and they cooled the liquid with a compressor, basically making it into kind of a refrigerator, but just a completely liquid-filled refrigerator. It was a cool idea.
Ow.
That's a badass idea. I mean, for an old school FX processor like mine that generates like massive amounts of heat, that would be
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, because all you have to do is slap a heat sink on the processor, and then just let the heat dissipate into the liquid.
Yep, and yeah, that would be, yeah, and it would work for your GPU as well.
It would also weigh about 160 pounds.
It's alright. I got a nice like solid oak desk from the college for free.
you got a compressor, you got full liquid, you got your metal case, and you got all your components. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you'd have to figure out a way to separate your hard drives because I don't think those like being suspended in liquid. I don't know about SSDs though.
So pretty much what you're saying is you have to have a an ignition coil to start the stamp.
Oh yeah,
Next
it's
thing
definitely.
you know, it's going to require a Mr. Fusion.
You should definitely put it on its own outlet, or else it's going to blow some fuses in your house.
Just set it up in my garage.
Just plug it into
No,
a
no, no, no.
240 watt plug.
Just make it your garage.
Well, no, I mean I already got a giant air compressor for like taking tires off and whatnot. Just run a separate line. Just dedicate it for the PC. Put
So-
PC right under the garage.
So we take our computers that we can almost make them the size of a shoebox, and we bloat them up to the size of a car in our garage because we have like these cool like cooling experiments going on. Yeah, Arthur C. Clarke would be throwing up in his grave.
Yeah, I'm just saying I already have the stuff out there. I mean, I could just move the tower out there, and yeah, problem solved. Plus,
Anyway.
peace and quiet. I get away from my kids. I have internet.
Since when
I
are
see
compressors quiet?
win. Huh? Oh, when you have it built into its own cabinet with sound detonating.
No, you actually have the compressor outside. You run it in like an AC unit that has the cooling part go through the wall, and the compressor's actually outside or on the roof of your house.
That's great.
Yeah, this is my PC. I can't really move it, but gosh, it gets cold.
Hey, I can do anything as fast as I want, though.
You ever seen a processor overclock to 6.9 gigahertz?
Actually,
9 gigawatts?
1.21 gigawatts.
no, I think Intel's already broken that.
Yeah, they probably have.
Um,
Look, at this point, we're just waiting for quantum processing to become commercialized or commercially available.
apparently 7.1 gigahertz on all cores from an i9 99K.
6.9 is a way better number than 7.1.
Yes, because 69 is the number of buttons that is optimally viable.
This is true.
Yes. Or the optimal button to push.
Alright, we already talked about Warframe, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I
No,
think we covered
no.
it.
Yep,
Wait,
we did.
Did we? I can't. No, I don't think we did.
Oh, we didn't? Hey, Warframe is still a game, everybody.
Yep, it is.
Yeah.
Yes,
Good
Deadlock
times.
Protocol coming June sometime. Maybe.
You're welcome.
Titania and who's the other one? Nova. Titania and Nova are now out of the Prime Vault. So you can start
That
picking
would
up
be
their relics.
Trinity and Nova. Titania is the newest Prime out there.
Thank you. I have dyslexia.
It's okay.
Yep.
There's a lot of T in there, and I can understand why you'd be tongue-tied, twisted around all those T's.
It's your birthday,
And
so
on
it's
that
just
note-
all automatically approved.
Jesus Christ.
Thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for listening. Happy birthday, Masami.
Happy birthday,
Peace.
Masami. Penis.
Bye.